Good morning, everybody. Here we are on Tuesday, and we are going to be taking a look at the young players on the Seahawks for this week. And despite the embarrassing and ugly and disappointing and costly loss the Seahawks suffered, there was actually some pretty good stuff here. There was some stuff to be happy about, to celebrate. So I don't want that stuff to get lost in the fact that this season is a disappointment and the team has taken a step, well, I don't know if they've taken a step back, but they're not taking a step forward despite adding more talent. So the good news is the future of the team still looks bright. I just don't know if this team is going to be in position to take full advantage of that. So let's start with running backs and Kenneth Walker, who didn't have a huge game statistically, but he was productive as a runner and as a pass catcher. He had 75 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown. He looked great. PFF grade was really strong in this game. It's now up to 81.6 overall. He he looked special, and he was playing injured probably. So shout out to Ken Walker. Awesome game. He continues to be a really exciting part of this team moving forward. We've got a couple more years left on that rookie contract, so we got to get what we can while we can. Because I don't know if this team is going to be looking to keep him around post that rookie contract, with the way the common knowledge is transforming in the NFL about how to treat running backs. So we might be about halfway done with the Ken Walker experience, and we got to take advantage because he is special. We got to find a way to make it mean more because I don't know yet. We have one more game left to play, but it looks like Ken Walker will end up with a little less production than he had as a rookie. And there are many different reasons for that, but that strikes me as something we need to work on next year. Charbonnet, most of his damage was done in the passing game. He caught like 5 passes, was pretty productive as a check down receiver, and ended up having a pretty productive day on the ground. Still doing some good work blocking. PFF grade is solid. He's up over 600 yards now from scrimmage, so I think we can safely conclude that maybe he wasn't the ideal pick when we made him, but he has been a good pick. 600 yards, 600 relatively efficient yards from a second round rookie running back playing behind a really good guy like K9. That's going to do it. That's going to work. That makes your team better. Could you have made your team a little bit better with a different pick? Yes, maybe, but Charbonnet is a good football player, so that's always good. That's it for running backs. Moving along to wide receiver here, it's going to be real quick. JSN had 1 catch and Bobo had 1 catch. Now, JSN's catch was a beautiful touchdown grab in the back of the end zone. Awesome throw, awesome catch. That's got to excite people, but limited production in this game for sure. In fact, I think it was just, hold on. I'm sorry. I keep doing that whenever I make these videos. Yeah, 12-yard touchdown catch. PFF grade actually fell a little bit despite that, which kind of illustrates the fact that we didn't do a good job utilizing him outside that one play. But I mean, this is another guy up over 600 yards in an offense with Metcalf and Lockett, in an offense that uses tight ends a fairly decent amount, not as much as we might like, but yeah, that's another successful rookie season. So these young players are cooking, and Bobo caught a pass for 4 yards. PFF grade still up above 73. If he makes a play next week, he'll be right around 20 touches for 200 yards on the season, which, again, for a UDFA rookie who's competing with catches from so many other guys, pretty remarkable. I know it doesn't seem like a huge deal, but you got to remember the production is on top of what he gives you as a blocker. And Bobo continues to provide really good value as a blocker, even when he's not catching the ball. All right, now we move to the offensive line, and this is where things take a turn for the worse here. Charles Cross had an ugly game, very ugly. PFF smashed him for this one. According to PFF, he had 1 penalty called against him, which I think it was a false start. He gave up 9 QB pressures, including the basically game-ending sack. And Gino had to do some magic man work to make it not more than 1 sack. Like, Charles Cross owes Gino a couple of dinners. Because if not for Gino doing some wizard stuff back there, Charles Cross would have given up maybe 4 sacks in this game. Run blocking grade fell a little bit as well, so even though we're late in the season and it really shouldn't be possible to do this, Charles Cross dumped his PFF grade almost 5 points, I think. That's not good. Still having an improved season over last year. I'm still not going to judge him harshly because I do understand his season kind of got thrown off the rails in the first half of the first game, but not good. Abe Lucas also did not have a good game. In fact, I believe he gave up a lot of pressures as well, despite only playing half the game. Yeah, 4 pressures despite leaving before halftime. Run block grade fell a little bit to 58.8. He's not, I mean, again, I'm not judging Abe Lucas. I'm not doing it because this season has been completely messed up for him, but we're not seeing very good stuff from him overall yet. Obviously, he's a part of this team's future. He is better than a guy like a Jake Curhan, and I would rather have him out there even in this state than a guy like Jason Peters. But Abe Lucas does have something to prove next year. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's the case. He has something to prove next year. Olu Oluwatimi got in there for the second half, had 1 penalty, but otherwise played fine. His run block grade stayed the same. His overall grade did fall a little bit, but that was because his pass block grade was starting from such a high point, it couldn't get much better, and it could only really go down. So, to my estimation, Oluwatimi played okay. Not memorable, not really anything great, but I would like to see what he can offer next week against the Cardinals, if at all possible. And based on what we see from him next week, maybe we can get some idea of whether or not this is a worthy guy to depend on going into 2024. But played okay. Anthony Bradford also played okay. Didn't play, honestly, I didn't notice him that much in a negative way compared to other offensive linemen on this team. He did give up 4 pressures, which is not okay for a right guard, but his overall grade actually went up a couple of points. Although he's starting from such a low point, it's pretty easy to do that. And I believe that his run blocking grade went up almost 4 points, which is nice. So, Bradford, better game from him for sure. Did not notice him the way I noticed Cross and Lucas in the negative category. All right, that moves us on over to the defense here. Cam Young played like 7 snaps, and PFF hated him. He tanked his grade like 6 points, even though he played 7 snaps or something. But didn't play really enough for me to judge anything. Didn't put up any stats. Not much to say there. I mean, it's really hard to find a guy on this defense who played well. Honestly, one of the guys who maybe did was Boye Mafe. He picked up a few tackles and had a good PFF grade. His grade went up a little bit. I think it went up like a point, maybe a point and a half. Yeah, 0.8, so basically a point. So I guess Mafe did his job. Derek Hall actually kind of sort of had an impact. I don't think it's a good impact, really, but at least it's an impact. At least you felt something. He had 6 tackles in this game, which I'm almost positive is a career high. Now, despite that and having a tackle for loss, his PFF grade still barely budged. It went up like less than 1 point, which illustrates how bad he is on a snap-to-snap basis on basics. But at least he was out there. At least he was around the ball. At least he was doing something. At least he was alive, you know? There's something to be said for that right now. Boye Mafe is so forgettable this year. It's kind of nice just to be reminded that he is alive out there and he's doing something. Cornerback, Woolen actually played overall pretty much fine. He had a few tackles. He had a pass breakup on 4th down, which, I mean, that was a good play by the defense, and I swear they didn't make another good one for about the next 40 plays. But that was at least something. PFF grade went up over a point. If there's anybody on this team that I'm not annoyed at on defense, it would be guys like Woolen and Mafe, because it seemed to me they did okay. So yeah, Woolen working on rebuilding his reputation, and he's doing a good job of it. Devin Witherspoon, not a good game for him. He had a few tackles, but he missed a lot of tackles and was a part of the problem out there. His PFF grade dumped down to 81.4. So he's got some work to do. It hurts to see him out there like this right now because we know how good he is at tackling. We know how good he is in run support. And right now he's just clearly not himself. Probably won't be until next year. But, yeah, not a very good game from Witherspoon. and maybe we shouldn't be terribly surprised about that, but still happier having him out there than not. And that's it. That is it for the young players on this team. Not much else to say, not much else to report. Yeah, still overall good. I mean, K9 had a great game. Charbonnet contributed positively. Bobo and JSN made plays. The offensive line is concerning, but I think we all understand that the offensive line has been put behind the eight ball here, and the players that we thought were going to be great this year, we're just going to have to be a little patient with them. Cross is still probably fighting through some stuff. Oh, and by the way, while we're here, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, or whatever his name is, I think it's Alex Highsmith, they're going to give a lot of offensive linemen problems. So, yeah, that's really about it. I will see you guys later today. More videos coming. Thank you for watching, and yeah, go Hawks.